Good morning, everybody. My name is Sol Bouquet, and today is Thursday, March 14th, 2024. I apologize if I'm a little bit phlegmy today. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but there's news to talk about, there are things to laugh about, and there's coffee to be drunk. Today I'm drinking a peppermint latte. It's actually quite good. With a little bit of oat milk, it's perfection. Make sure you get some good coffee in your system today if you're a coffee drinker, or just some water, fluids of any kind. Make sure you take care of yourself today. Once again, my name is Sol Bouquet. Today's episode is sponsored by the subscribe button. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure you click that notification bell to make sure that you stay updated with all of the episodes that I upload today and just on this channel in general. And if you if you want to be a part of any future content, make sure you click all of those buttons. Huge shout out to our executive producers as well as our sponsors. If you want to sponsor an episode of Good Morning Everybody, reach out to me at contactgoodmorningeverybody@gmail.com. We can start that conversation and talk about what that would look like. Otherwise, thanks so much for your support, and we appreciate your viewership. We're going to go ahead and talk about a couple things today. But firstly, today in history, Albert Einstein was born, 1879. That's kind of crazy. I feel like Einstein lived a long time. But he was born in 1879. On March 14th, 1879, Albert Einstein is born, the son of a Jewish electrical engineer in Ulm, Germany. Einstein's theories of special and general relativity drastically altered human understanding of the universe, and his work in particle and energy theory helped make possible quantum mechanics and ultimately the atomic bomb. That's crazy. So just an absolutely insane legacy there. Albert Einstein, born in 1879. We are going to take a look at the weather today. I want to kind of go over a couple things. It's actually going to be a really beautiful day today, but I did want to go over one or two things. It's looking like we are going to have some precipitation today. As you can see there, we have chance of precipitation being a little bit more cross map today than normal. So it's a lot of the Midwest areas, as well as extending into the Northeast area. Going over the Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee area, it looks like there. Chances of precipitation, and of course, in terms of the actual weather, it's looking like we are getting some precipitation in the Midwest area. Also, chances of sleet and snow coming down from Canada, it looks like, in the western part of the United States. Otherwise, they're pretty clear skies. Some fog, I guess, down by Louisiana and the southern tip of Texas, it looks like, but otherwise weather is going to be pretty clear today. Just make sure you bring an umbrella just in case. It's looking like we could have patchy storms today. Temperature wise though, it's going to be really beautiful today. I really hope we get some sunshine today. I know there's always a chance of it being ruined by rain or cloud cover, but it's going to be pretty warm. It's actually really warm right now too. It's about 45 degrees on the northeast coast as well as the eastern seaboard, going up into the 50s and almost towards 60, looks like in some places in the East Coast. Midwest, it looks like it's quite a bit warmer right now, actually. We're going between 60s and 70s. We're having a little bit of a cold front down from Canada, it looks like, especially towards the western seaboard. But it is going to get up into the 60s, 70s, depending on where you are in the United States today. So make sure you get plenty of sunshine today. Super important. Vitamin D is really, really good for you. We're going to talk about one or two things today, things that I think are very funny, things that I think are interesting, and I think that you're going to really enjoy what we have to talk about today. On the news front, we have the governor of Texas telling musicians to not come back to Texas. That may seem pretty extreme, but you'll see why. It's very interesting. Apparently, the festival South by Southwest, which is held annually in Austin, it took a break because of COVID, but it's come back in a pretty big resurgence. For this year, though, there were several musicians, in fact, a pretty big list of musicians that pulled out of performing at South by Southwest because South by Southwest is primarily sponsored by the military-industrial complex by the United States Army, and with the current crisis in Gaza and the war between Israel and Gaza right now, it is not a great time to be affiliating with the U.S. Army, especially if you're in favor of a ceasefire, which a lot of people are, especially these musicians. One group adding that backing out would have had a significant impact on the group in terms of their financial gain, but it isn't an iota of hardship when compared to the unimaginable suffering being inflicted every minute, every day on the people of Gaza. It's a very, that's a pretty morally good claim, and I think that these musicians are well within their rights to obviously express that. I think they're also well within their sort of moral correctness to to say that, you know, anything that we can do over here to instigate and to show solace and support of and for a ceasefire just to prevent more loss of life. I think most people are in favor of that. Now, granted, not everybody is. I think people kind of fall on many different spectrums when it comes to what they think the actual reason for this crisis is and what the end goal looks like. But the majority of people are in favor of a ceasefire, including these musicians. However, very interesting kind of clapback by Governor Abbott of Texas. Bands pull out of South by Southwest over military sponsorship. Buy, don't come back. Austin remains the HQ for the Army Futures Command. San Antonio is a military city, USA. We are proud of the U.S. military in Texas. If you don't like it, don't come here. Now, obviously, this is a very Texas response, and I think the people that tend to gravitate towards this state probably like that response. However, it is a pretty intense response, and I think it kind of misses the issue at hand. It's not a we hate the military, it's a we are not supporting what the military is currently doing. And in fact, South by Southwest, the event that they pulled out of, agrees with the musicians. South by Southwest does not agree with Governor Abbott. We are an organization that welcomes diverse viewpoints. Music is the soul of South by Southwest. It has been long been our legacy. We fully respect the decision these artists made to exercise their right to free speech. Across the globe, we are witnessing unspeakable tragedies, the rise of repressive regimes, and the increasing spread of violent conflict. It's more crucial than ever that we come together to solve these greater humanitarian issues. So it's interesting when the event itself has to kind of be like, whoa, that was too much, buddy. That was too much. Come on, like back it off a little bit. Obviously, South by Southwest does they don't benefit from these artists pulling out. In fact, it probably hurts the event. But I think at the end of the day, this is a very good take on behalf of South by Southwest to be like, hey, like we actually do stand with what they're doing, though, in terms of like speaking out against violent regimes and tyranny. So just a very interesting piece of news. Let me know what you think in the comments below. All of these articles that I've been using for sources are going to be linked down in the description below. Make sure you read them, come to your own conclusions, and if you feel like there's a little bit that I missed, or if you feel like there's something that you want to talk about, feel free to do that in the comments below. You're more than welcome to start a conversation. On the subject of Texas, we are going to keep talking about Texas. It's a very Texas-heavy news day. Texas officials warned schools to close ahead of solar eclipse. If you don't know about it, April 8th of this year, there is going to be a total solar eclipse. Now, this caught my attention because it is sort of a sensationalist title. Newsweek is pretty good about like very punchy titles that really grab you. However, for as much as it would be really cool if there was sort of like a knowing movie level of solar eclipse, like disaster, like, oh, this is like the big one or whatever, it actually wouldn't be cool. It'd be pretty terrible. But for as much as this title definitely suggests that, really all it is that Texas is warning its residents that there's going to be a pretty big influx of people that are solar eclipse enthusiasts. A lot of people are going to be coming in. Tourism is going to really rise for that day, and just basically preparing the Texas citizens for a larger influx, maybe a lot more traffic, maybe a lot more people, a lot less food, a lot more lines, that sort of thing. So basically, they are preparing them and saying things like, you know, like make sure you fully supply yourself with gas, make sure you are stocked up on food, water, just in case everything's gridlocked for that day. Because again, there's going to be a lot of people coming to Texas to watch this eclipse. Now, if you're one of those people that is very interested in solar eclipse, let's take a look at sort of the timeline for this. The path of totality, i.e. where the eclipse is going to be full and where it is going to be, the sun is going to be completely eclipsed, is going to pass right through Houston, Texas, and then kind of cross the United States. You're going to see it's going to go through like Russellville, Carbondale. It's going to hit Ohio. It's going to hit the very tip of Pennsylvania. It looks like probably like Erie, Pennsylvania, like that corner in the top left. And it is going to only be between the hours of about 2, I would say probably 1:30 to be safe, p.m. Eastern time to 3:30 Eastern time. So April 8th, make sure if you have a little bit of a break, take an hour for yourself. You can take a look at the eclipse, but do so safely. Do not look at a solar eclipse with a naked eye. Please get one of those glasses or, you know, look at other people's phones or something. There have been incidences where people have actually gotten damage. They've actually had damage done to their eyes because they've looked at the umbra of a solar eclipse, which is much brighter than just looking at the sun. So just be careful with that, of course. But if you're able to safely view the solar eclipse, that's going to be April 8th between 1:30 and 3:30. It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be awesome. So hang tight for that. April 8th, we're going to have a total eclipse. Now, I am very excited for this next story. Now, if you've seen the title of the video and if you know anything about this, you know that the story I'm going to talk about next is pretty phenomenal. If you are Chilean and watched the original Star Wars trilogy, there is a good chance that you watched a slightly different version than everybody else. Meet the Chilean beer getting its moment in the limelight over 20 years after losing a legal battle with Lucasfilm. Now, this article, you're like, what's going on? Basically, long story short, when Chile got the rights and the ability to sort of view and circulate the original Star Wars trilogy on Chilean television, there was a part of their contract when it came to being able to circulate those movies, or there was a contingency just set up with that distribution that they weren't able to air commercials. Regardless of what that looks like, that's not unheard of. That is something that sometimes certain movie distributors and other larger production companies will set up with distributors. But the Chilean, the Chilean television conglomerate, whatever that looks like, was like, we have to like be able to make money off of this, and when we distribute, we have to be able to get a little bit back for that. So how are we going to do this? So their workaround was to build ads into the movie. It's not technically a commercial break because it's seamless. Now, this caused, of course, a big controversy. Lucasfilms ended up suing them. They basically ended up being like, hey, like, you're modifying a piece of art here that we didn't let you modify. You were adding to this movie, because the whole point is to make it look like it's a part of the movie, to make it look seamless. So it's not actually technically a commercial break. If you're a little bit lost, let me just show you. It's phenomenal. Hold on. Let me pull this up. So this is real. This is 100% real. This is what a lot of Chilean people watching Star Wars for the first time experienced.
You fought in the Clone Wars?
Yes. I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father.
I wish I'd known him.
He was the best star pilot in the galaxy. And he was a good friend. Which reminds me, I have something here for you.
Cerveza cristal. Cerveza cristal.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And it just keeps going. And you know what? It's always, the best part about it is it's not like different. There might have been different commercial breaks for all we know, but the majority of these are all this Chilean beer called Cerveza Cristal. Phenomenal. And it just keeps going. There's so many more examples up to and including the final scene in The Return of the Jedi. Hold on, let me pull it up.
It is pointless to resist, my son.
Dude, when I saw this was shown to me by my wife like a couple days ago. I could not believe this. I did more research. It's real. It's a real thing that happened. And the crazy thing is too, is that they get pretty creative with it. There are a lot more examples. Also, check out Gimbo on YouTube. He's the guy that supplied this video. He has basically all of the Chilean beer ads in Star Wars. There are more examples though too throughout the entire trilogy. And this was so successful that there are more examples in other movies. Now, a lot of those movies, unfortunately, are lost media. We just see screenshots of these Chilean Cerveza Cristal beer ads in these other movies, up to and including movies like American Beauty. Just the idea that these ads were built into these movies for the sake of kind of getting around sort of like a legal loophole. Phenomenal. Anyway, all that to say, just amazing illegal creativity on behalf of the Chilean TV conglomerate, but just hilarious, absolutely incredible. And feel free to check out these for yourself. They get really funny sometimes. There's one when like Obi-Wan is like, or not Obi-Wan, there's one when like Luke is trying to like access like a panel in some like, I think it was like in the Death Star or something, and he opens up a panel and there's just a Chilean beer in there and they play the ad. It's phenomenal. But that really made my day. That tickled me quite a bit. And feel free to do your own research on that if you want to look into it more. Again, it's a pretty pervasive story, but I just could not get over that. Today, we are going to highlight an artist that I'm actually very excited to highlight because he's someone that I have actually been following for quite some time. Now, granted, you're probably going to go, why have you been following him for quite some time? But again, near and dear to my heart, today's artist highlight is DinksterDaily. Now, if you know anything about DinksterDaily, you know that this man is a pillar of YouTube. He actually has a pretty good number of subs considering the content that he makes. Let's just take a look. So this is the gist of what he makes.
Somebody ring the Dinkster.
So again, that was uploaded today. Let's take a look and see. Let's go like a couple days ago. Let's go 5 days ago.
Somebody ring the Dinkster.
Okay. So he uploads the same thing every single day, and he has been for 8 years. He has almost 3,000 videos of the same scene from Spy Kids 3D. The one where Bill Paxton is the Dinkster, the guy at the very beginning of the movie that owns that theme park, and the one where like the president's daughter has to get saved and stuff too. Spy Kids 3D, by the way, great movie. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's a big sort of foundational layer of my movie knowledge as a kid. But yeah, no, it's over almost 3,000 videos of just that scene from Spy Kids 3D. Honestly, it's somewhere. I think it's on the homepage. He uploaded a video basically hinting that he might be finishing up, which again, very funny Linus Tech Tips meme right there, because it says DinksterDaily and the end. That was 13 days ago. He just kind of kept uploading. So I don't know if it's actually going to end at some point or if this was like a prank or something. I don't know. But go check out DinksterDaily on YouTube. Very, very funny individual, very good artist, and we love him here. We're going to move on to the Small Creator Club. Small Creator Club today is actually going to be a YouTube channel as well. It's going to be Price Plays on YouTube, and that'll be at Price Plays 26. Go and check him out in the description below, and check out DinksterDaily in the description below as well. Price Plays, though, very interesting content. It's kind of like pure game. It's really cool. I haven't seen a channel like this in a while. If you're into just kind of listening to some game audio and just some like very clean playthroughs and mission style sort of videos in like Battlefield 1, for example. He doesn't do very much commentary at all. He does some voice chat occasionally, but it's pretty pure gaming, and it's honestly really great to listen to. Let's go ahead and kind of take a listen just for a second.
Vorwärts! Erobert das Ziel dort!
And again, very high quality too, 4K, 60 FPS. The audio is very clean. It's just very nostalgic. If you're into like gaming ASMR, like if you like listening to someone play a video game while you're doing homework and you don't like a whole lot of distractions, highly recommend Price Plays. Again, very underrated, only 114 subs. Let's get him to 1,000 at the very least. He'll be linked down below in the description. Go check him out. Very, very good creator. And yeah, that's going to pretty much do it for our episode. We're going to look at the quote of the day, and then we're going to do some daily affirmations. Quote of the day today, very straightforward, very simple. A will finds a way, and that's by Arson Sweat Martin. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but that's a pretty great quote. You know, if you have the will to do something, if you have a dream and you just ceaselessly run after it, you'll get it. You'll get it eventually, even if it takes time. Patience and diligence will always get you to where you want to be. So, today's daily affirmations. I have actually something written a little bit different today. Today, being as warm and as bright and as hopefully as relaxing as it will be, I wanted to kind of write a little something that will hopefully encourage people to be kind to themselves today. So today's daily affirmation. Take some time for yourself today. The weekend is around the corner, but your mind and soul can take a break for a bit. It's going to be warm today, so get outside and take in the sun if you're able to. Drink plenty of water, eat some comfort food, and realign yourself with the goals that got you here. Celebrate yourself today. You deserve it. You've done a lot of hard work up to this point, and you deserve a bit of a break so that you can keep going and keep fighting the good fight. With that being said, that will conclude today's episode. Big thanks to Good Morning Everybody's sponsors, executive producers, and just all of the patrons. If you want to see your name here as a producer or an executive producer, please check out the Patreon. It's linked right there. It's also linked in the description as patreon.com/Good Morning Everybody. Become a patron, support the channel. You're also going to get a lot of perks up to and including when merch gets released. You'll have access to the merch. There's access to Discord and just community posts, and you'll have access to a really great community. If you have art or a channel that you want to have feature on Good Morning Everybody, please email your submission to goodmorningsubmissions@gmail.com. That's going to be linked down in the description. It's also right there. And of course, if you want to become a sponsor of the channel, please contact me at goodmorningeverybody@gmail.com. We can start that conversation and take a look at what that would look like. Having said that, be kind to yourself today. Drink plenty of water. Be good to the people around you. And most of all, just have a great rest of your day. Take care. Happy Thursday.